Look at that.
Come on.
Got into a grind. That's crazy.
A lot happened.
What that shows you is how good Gustavo really is, though.
Mid-trick, didn't go where he wanted. Oh, that's okay, I can save it.
Yeah, impressive that he didn't just jump off.
Stop your entire run, kind of.
Yeah, it can.
Or
So, next skater in from Lisbon, Portugal. He was a Tampa Am winner, put him on the map, and then just last month in London, second place.
Wow.
I mean, he's a machine. Contest killer. Barely got beat by Nigel Houston in London. Barely.
Oh,
Gustavo Ribeiro in, kickflip front board, perfect.
So he put Portugal on the map along with George Samoy. Those guys are holding it down for Portugal. Both of them, I think, are contenders. But he came out of nowhere and won Tampa Am. That's like the whole story, start to finish. And then he ever since then, he's been at every contest winning.
On his back lip. This is a great run. Super good flow. Perfect backsmith.
Nice, nice.
Run, ollie flip out.
Oh, he was going to try to
He
sneak
had
one
more.
in.
We'll
didn't
see it
want
in
to
his
stop.
next run. So there you go. Bolts.
He looks like he's not happy with it, but that was an amazing run.
He's like, I timed out my run all wrong and ruined it. That's what it takes these days.
And are you seeing guys really like mapping it out, trying to run, having somebody time it, telling them, are the coaches helping out in that way a lot?
That's a good question. I don't know, because I'm always up here watching it from here. I don't know what's happening like on the course, but I've seen the best guys are usually landing a hammer with 3 seconds left. So you tell me.
I think the answer is yes. Talked to Jagger Eaton at Phoenix Am, and he basically said, yeah, I get 6 passes. I'm like, what do you mean? He's like, I time it perfectly.
Really?
And he knew exactly how many obstacles he can hit.
Wow.
Interesting.
So the guys that are excelling are breaking it down to a science.
And that's the way, I mean, we're headed towards the Olympics.
Yeah.
You don't stumble into the Olympics. You gotta be calculated, and look at that.
Yeah,
First
rewarded.
place, Gustavo Ribeiro,
being just that.
76.46. Straight into the lead, just keeping it going. That's what he does, and expect to see more and more of that.
And what's funny is he's not even happy. He's probably like, I had 2 more tricks. Yeah, and Gustavo strikes me as such a competitor. You know he's taken note on Yukito. Saying, what can I do to top that?
He's got to get that last trick in.
And Gustavo is he's a 360 flip nose blunt kid. He's like one of those guys who can do it every try. And to have a trick like that on lock is like having solid gold in your pocket, like ready to break it out.
You can tell he's really hustling. He doesn't want to miss that last trick like the last round.
Yep. He's pushing his hard on this time.
Low of the front side ollie into that back lip. Showing a little diversity. Nice recovery to that backsmith there.
I feel like he was hustling too much.
He was thinking about the next. He was thinking about making it to that last one. It would have been tight even if he would have landed that. I don't know if he would have made it anyway.
Yeah, you can, like the guys called, you can tell he got ahead of himself. He was going for the crooked grind, nollie flip out, but lost focus on the first part of the trick there with the crooked grind. It happens.
He's smiling, man. It's all good.
So Gustavo's gonna...
He's still in second place. Lots of skateboarding left, but I'd say he's a likely contender for making semifinals.
Definitely.
.270 lip there. He got a little sketched out, but recovered very well.
Look at that focus.
Almost perfect.
It's seriously a perfect day out here in Long Beach.
We're really lucky.
country
jealous right now.
Well, the skaters are really lucky. There you go. Gustavo Ribeiro, who has really, really become quite the professional in the last, I would say even 6 months. Looking really, really strong out there. Nice back 180 nose grind down that hubba. frontside
Cruising.
nose grind
Cruising
across
on
and
that.
down the rail. Just about 20 seconds left.
I mean, if you've made it this far into this competition, you're cruising.
Yeah.
Right now. You're
Let me
feeling pretty confident, I would
Vanessa,
hope.
let me ask you a judging style thing. Do you like to see the athletes and skaters running from trick to trick? Or do
Yeah.
you like more casual?
Hustle.
Is it quantity over quality?
Not- I don't know about that, but hustle definitely shows the judges that you're on.
Okay.
You're on your A game.
That run was amazing
ridiculous, yeah.
right there. I talked to Gustavo a little bit beforehand. I was like, you get nervous? He's like, I get nervous every time. He's like, it's in my stomach, it's in my chest, I can feel it. And then as soon as he drops in, he's like, it's all gone. But it's that lead up. And that was a solid 45 minutes ago we talked. So
I can
18-year-old.
definitely relate
Yes.
to that whole process.
That's what it's like. 18-year-old out of Lisbon, Portugal, has a twin brother, Gabriel. Really broke onto the scene. First Portuguese rider, I should say, to win the Tampa Am back in 2017.
There's another look, nice frontside nose grind
that.
across and down. He looked really confident out there. Big spin front board down the stairs, taking it to fakie. And here's another look at that 360 flip nose slide right there. So difficult. So first run 8.7. That's a really solid score.
So 2 done, 4 to go before we get to the next skater. Let's check in with Tina. Gustavo
see.
Ribeiro.
I'm excited. I hope Gustavo can keep on it this entire run. Look at that nice back 3 lip. Apparently that's just a trick that people do now. Kick the
Are you
front
seeing
board.
that stock?
Yeah, it's kind of becoming
At this
stock.
point,
How is
yeah.
that possible?
Which is
At this
insane.
When did that
point, yeah.
happen?
Yeah, so difficult. I love the frontside nose grind across and down. I feel like you don't see a lot of across down rails these days, so it's nice to see.
Yeah, I'm sure they have a lot of fun with that. Especially that trick. Once you lock it in and you're sitting pretty on it, you take that one.
I don't know what the right phrase is for Gustavo, but his flow is just so visually appealing.
Yeah, he's really
That
look
is
at
wild.
that.
Every
I mean,
single
just
time.
Look at this.
60 flip nose
Look at that
slide.
hustle, going for the crook nollie flip,
Oh!
making it happen in time, man. That right there was amazing. Put together a
Even
really
Vanessa
good
Torres
run.
is going to score that because he got it up before. You know, she's like rounded a second. You initiate anything at the 1, may not make
But
it.
that combination, that back-to-back
Yeah.
combination,
You're gonna just
was
connect
both of
those.
those were best trick
Yeah.
attempts put into a run. That was gnarly.
So, okay, his first run, he got that 8.7. I don't know if they counted that crook nollie flip. And there was more hustle in that
Yeah.
one. He might have even gotten more tricks in. So let's see if that's going to be enough to boost him up.
Just sit back and enjoy the stylings of Gustavo Ribeiro.
Look at that right there. Back
Amazing.
3, that frontside nose grind. Oh, just sitting pretty. I love this because he did a front nose blunt down the little rail and then big spin front board right into that.
And this is how he finished things up.
Boom. Perfect.
His balance, his air awareness, guys, next level. And just such a strong score. And we'll see how this comes down. Gustavo, as Andrew pointed out, sitting on that 8-7.
All
They
right.
go 8-8-0.
Hey, that is a great score, though, because if you look up there at Sora right now, Sora
Yeah.
7.8, 7.6. So that's really, really good scoring as we head into best trick. Let's do this.
Gustavo Ribeiro.
All right, Gustavo does a great job in this section.
Wow.
Look at that
Wow.
bigger spin
Yeah.
flip front board. Oh,
It's like
man.
you knew.
There
It's like
you go,
knew.
Todd. There's no holding back
There's no
here.
holding
that
back.
was one of the gnarliest
That
attempts
was ridiculous.
makes we've
Man,
seen.
just the way he pulled that was insane.
He's
So that's a
stoked.
360 flip with a little extra 180. There you go, catching
Catch.
it to
Boom.
fakie, and that was really, really well done, especially for that trick, because that trick can look good or it can look really gross. And he
Basically
honestly
landing
made it look
blind.
good.
Landing blind.
Yeah.
Now, Gustavo, the good word for him is he's already sitting with an 8-7 and an 8-8. This should be a monster score as well. Oh, yeah.
Oh,
Why not
man.
another 8-8? So he's already 26-3-0 with just 3 scores.
Yes.
Simple math would tell me if he gets another 8, boom,
Things are looking good.
things are looking good for him.
It's a good place to be.
Wow. Gustavo.
So setting up looked like 360 flip positioning. Ooh, hitting the rail on the way up.
He
super,
is human.
super difficult.
He's human. Gustavo was on an absolute tear. And that would have been lights out if he had nailed that. But instead it goes as a miss.
It's okay. Still got plenty of attempts.
Yeah, and also that first attempt was just straight out of the...
Yeah, it was bananas. What are you even talking about?
Just kidding. 4 best scores. So he's sitting on 3 solid.
That he's got kickflip, back tail, big spin under his belt.
So Andrew Cannon for a vote for a little too high on that one. Gustavo back to his winning ways.
Do you think he was going for nose blunt on that?
I think it's possible. I mean, that's definitely the full. That's the.
I don't even know how he recovered from that.
Yeah.
Even you get the little teeter
think it was
totter
ad-lib in the
action that
middle?
happens.
I think when if we can see the slow-mo on that, we'll know. But it is impressive that Gustavo made it. Yeah. Here's another look.
Yeah.
Yes, that was definitely the nose blunt and held on.
So do you get extra points for the save?
No.
No, it's still a make.
Look at that.
Come on.
Got into a grind. That's crazy.
A lot happened.
What that shows you is how good Gustavo really is, though.
Mid-trick, didn't go where he would want. Oh, that's okay, I can save it.
Yeah, impressive that he didn't just jump off.
Now this will be his 4th score in the book, so he's going to be sitting really good. So far, 8, 8, 8 across the board, guys. He is going to be, I mean, if this score's anywhere near where I think it's going to be, he's going to probably be in the top 2. Correct? Where it should be, Vanessa? You want to stick your neck out on that one?
We'll see. I don't want to stick my neck out.
He doesn't, plays it safe, and he goes into first. Take a chance, roll the dice, comes up Yahtzee, 34.06 for Gustavo.
Gustavo knows what he's doing out there. I mean, this is a skater that has come up through the contest scene and really knows the format and knows the strategy. Although new here, this is, he's coming into this very serious. Gustavo, low score, 7.76. That was the mess up for the 3-flip nose blunt. So if he can get into that 3-flip nose blunt and pull it, he's going to smash that score out and just increase his lead.
How good a place is that? He's got to drop a 7.76. There's guys who are dying to have a 7.76.
Here we go. Oh, so close. Still got one more, though.
One more attempt.
He's in a really good place to try that again in his last attempt. So.
Take some chances. So Gustavo Ribeiro will have one more opportunity, still trying to drop That's 7.76, which is ridiculous. If he keeps it, he's still in first place.
Yeah, that's a great spot to be in right now. All right, here we go. It all comes down to this with Gustavo, though. 3-flip nose blunt. Can he do it?
Oh, my God!
No! So close! Oh,
Inches.
man. Oh, I just wanted to see how high that score would be.
The good news is he has to hold on to a 7.76. The bad news is he holds on to the 7.76.
Well, no, the bad news is that we didn't get to see him roll away. That's an insane trick. We're talking Costin's last trick from so many years ago, now being done in a contest. Unbelievable.
Boom. And just got his weight and momentum over the nose and couldn't. Oh.
I just want to break this table in half
I know.
now. I'm so
Is he wearing
frustrated.
Costins? I think he's wearing Costins.
I don't know.
I think he is.
If anyone will. Gustavo Ribeiro, winner of the 2017 Tampa Am. And ever since then, he has been around the world, putting it down in events, and he has been on the cusp of winning the biggest events. Second place in London last month, just behind Nigel.
Gustavo as well, we saw him at the World Championship earlier this year, and he was looking really good. He had the technical tricks, but it was almost like his power wasn't there. He turned pro, showed up in London, and it was on. He just looked so much more confident. Here we see him today looking great out there on the course. One of the nice things about Gustavo is when he's doing his runs, he's going to do some of the most technical runs. He's a lot like Ivan. He came up through the amateur circuit. 360 flip nose slide, getting away from him. Doesn't have enough time to probably pop another. Oh, so close.
Right.
Man, that was hustle right there.
Let's talk about Ivan Montero and Gustavo Ribeiro as the new skaters with this 254 format. How do they handle it versus the veterans? Do the veterans have an advantage because they're used to skating it for longer?
I'm going to say no, and the reason is these guys came up through the contest in the line format. So that they've got dialed. They are both winners in that realm. So they know how to put together an incredible line that can get those high scores. And then on top of that, the single tricks that they're able to do are so high caliber that they really truly have the potential to put pressure on the top dogs like Nigel Houston.
So Gustavo Ribeiro First run score, 6.30. Are either of those scores going to be keepers, and could they contribute to his final and total four-trick score?
They'll contribute because he's got 2 scores on the board, but no, I don't think those are winning scores. Gustavo Ribeiro on course right now, making his way at that hub, a back 180 nose grind down. That was right after the kickflip front board on the A-frame. Nose grind across and down. Gustavo just looks so confident. There we go.
A big spin front board fakie. Same trick we saw from Kelvin. Do the same tricks get the same amount of love from the judges?
It depends on the rest of the run, you know. There we go, hanging on to the 360 flip nose slide. We saw him fall in the last one. In your runs, if you do the same tricks, it's okay, as long as the entire thing isn't a copy. But if we get into best trick and you're just doing everyone else's moves, they're going to start docking you. So Gustavo, good run. Didn't get the crook nollie flip at the end. So they'll ding him a little bit.
We've seen skaters struggling here a little bit in the run section.
Well, we talked about how the semifinal was one of the best semifinals we've ever seen, and I think that what it's done is they were all there, they all lived it. There's so much pressure coming into this to perform that I think some of them might be psyching themselves out. And then here you go, right at the buzzer, so close to that crook nollie flip. No go, though, and it will count against him.
7.83, so still a solid score for Gustavo Ribeiro from Portugal. Consistency and delivering when it's necessary. Gustavo Ribeiro in bolts.
Wow, started off, bigger spin flip, frontside board slide to fakie. He did that really well, too. That trick can go one of 2 ways. It can look really good or it can look bad. There's not a whole lot in the middle. He did it perfectly.
Let me ask you about this, though. He's famous for that trick. He does it at every event. It always comes in with big scores. Is it going to continue to get those scores if he keeps doing it again and again and again?
Well, I mean, if he's the first one in the heat to do it, I think right now he's still going to remain getting those big scores. But I think as time goes on and the level of progression continues, we will see, things wane a little bit. Right now, though, I'm kind of anticipating high 7s, 8s. Just awaiting the score on that. That one's super difficult, too. Going more than a 360 kickflip, catching it. Look at that.
8.80. That's good enough to move Gustavo Ribeiro back into the lead.
So the judges responding. They're still good with that trick.
Kelvin Hoffler not on his game today. He is always on his game, and Gustavo Ribeiro is in trying what?
Oh, I don't know if that was 360 flip nose grind or 360 flip nose blunt. If that was nose grind, it's going to take it to a whole nother level. We haven't seen that here.
Sora Shirai from Japan. And Sora Shirai, France, Canada, Japan. Nigel Houston from the USA, currently in 5th. The only American here in the final. Gustavo Ribeiro, Portugal, in 7th place, needs a huge score.
Oh, 360 flip nose blunt getting away from him.
Gustavo Ribeiro and Ivan Montero, very similar skaters.
Very similar. Both of them making their way up through the amateur ranks. And to be honest with you, it looks like they're both struggling a little bit right now.
Gustavo Ribeiro having a similar showing as Ivan Montero. The rookies struggling out here in the Dew Tour final.
Oh, man.
They're even trying the same trick. 360 flip, nose blunt slide. It's not panning out. And those 2 skaters are the best in the world at that trick. I've never seen anyone as consistent at that trick as Gustavo and Ivan.
Unfortunately, though, it's not going to cut it for him. Sora, though.
For Gustavo Ribeiro and Ivan Montero, the rookies, they've been so good under pressure.
Last attempt, coming back to the rail. Oh, and a big spin front board. Huh, interesting. Interesting move. Look, 7.4 is what he needs to move up into 4th place. So I think right there, that was just a points move.
It was. He's not going to win. He's not going to make podium. But he knew if he made a good trick, would give him the ability to bump up the leaderboard and stack Olympic qualifying points.
I just don't know if a big spin front board is higher than a 7.4. We will see.
He may
Smart
just
move,
be
though,
trying
honestly.
to move up 1 or even 2 places.
5.76.
Good enough for 5th place.